When we stream movies, consult doctors online, or ask an AI a question, we are told this data lives in the cloud. That word implies something weightless and ethereal, but digital data is remarkably fragile. Electronic components generate immense heat as they process information, and they require an absolutely uninterrupted flow of electricity to function. To keep our digital lives intact, the internet relies on massive, heavily guarded concrete fortresses engineered specifically to regulate temperature and route power. The cloud is actually an industrial-scale factory of intelligence. It consumes vast physical resources to manufacture the digital reality we use every day. We can trace the blueprint for these factories back to 1945. At the University of Pennsylvania, engineers J. Presper Eppert and John Mauchly built the ENIAC, the first programmable, electronic, general-purpose digital computer designed for the U.S. Army to calculate artillery trajectories. ENIAC weighed 30 tons and relied on thousands of fragile vacuum tubes that generated dangerous levels of heat. Simply to survive its own operations without melting down, the ENIAC required a dedicated, highly secure room equipped with massive industrial fans. It was the world's first rudimentary data center. By the 1950s, under President Truman and the CIA, the military expanded this concept, moving centralized computing into highly secure government and intelligence facilities. Then, the invention of the transistorized computer allowed these machines to shrink. Transistors replaced hot, bulky vacuum tubes, letting computers run cooler and make the leap out of military bunkers. By the 1960s, IBM had established the first standardized commercial machine rooms, complete with strict temperature controls for corporate data processing. By solving the immediate physics problem of heat and size, computing shifted from a secret military tool to the baseline of global business operations. Today, the singular objective of a modern data center is uptime, guaranteeing that servers are available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. To measure this fault tolerance, the industry relies on the Uptime Institute's tier certification system, which grades facilities from Tier 1 to Tier 4 based on their level of redundancy. This animated diagram shows the facility's physical pillars. It relies on massive arrays of processing servers, high-bandwidth fiber optic networking, diesel backup generators for power, and industrial HVAC units for cooling. Engineers build these modern data centers with extreme physical redundancy. If a single piece of hardware fails, backup systems instantly take over, ensuring global digital services are never interrupted. As the internet exploded, companies realized they couldn't afford to run their own private server rooms. They began renting space in shared co-location facilities, large third-party data centers where multiple businesses lease space and share power costs. We also saw the rise of edge data centers. These are smaller, localized facilities built closer to end users to eliminate data travel time for high-speed technologies like autonomous vehicles. But the ultimate evolution arrived in the 2000s with the hyperscale cloud era. Tech titans like Amazon, Google, and Meta began investing billions into massive, centralized infrastructure complexes that dwarf the surrounding landscape. Economically, these hyperscalers are massive operations. They rent out vast amounts of computing power to the world, and in the US alone, they contribute hundreds of billions of dollars in tax revenue. By consolidating the internet's physical hardware, a handful of tech giants turned data centers into a global utility that now supports nearly every digital transaction on the planet. They democratize computing power for startups, secure critical hospital records, and maintain global emergency response networks. But this visualization reveals the physical cost. On the left, a mid-sized facility consumes 5 million gallons of water daily for cooling. On the right, residential electricity rates spike 10% to support a town-sized power draw. When we overlay location data on this map, a pattern appears. Data centers are frequently cited in marginalized census tracts, where residents absorb the 100-decibel noise and nitrogen oxide emissions from diesel backup generators. Tech companies often promote 100% renewable data centers, but solar and wind power are intermittent. They cannot meet strict 99.9% uptime demands without relying on massive battery arrays. Those batteries require aggressive mining of rare earth minerals like lithium and cobalt, relying on heavy industrial excavators that scar the earth. This footprint extends far beyond facility walls, creating vast chemical extraction landscapes, like these lithium evaporation ponds. Our frictionless digital economy is heavily subsidized by severe environmental extraction and strain on physical infrastructure. Now, the artificial intelligence revolution is accelerating this demand. Training large language models requires high-density clusters of graphics processing units, known as GPUs. These are specialized chips designed for the heavy parallel calculations needed for machine learning. These dense AI clusters generate extreme levels of heat. engineers are forced to abandon traditional air conditioning in favor of radical new liquid cooling technologies. There is a sharp historical irony here. Nearly 80 years after ENIAC's creators battled melting hardware, modern engineers are again locked in a desperate fight against heat and power limits. Our demand for artificial intelligence is actively pushing against the physical limits of planetary resources and electrical grids. Progress in artificial intelligence is now at direct trade-off with planetary resources. The goal is to sustain these factories without exhausting the electrical grids and water supplies they depend on.